had to go live as soon as that. I actually planned on coming here 5 minutes ago. But then I thought we had a driving chance to cut it to this lead. And then Matt throws that dumb interception. So this game ain't over technically. You still got time on the board. I don't care about it. The game is over. We're down 9 with 1:47 to go. But before I even get into this game, let me talk about Calvin Ridley just came out with a statement about 15 20 minutes ago. I know that's been the topic. He missed this game. He's missed actually another game at one point. I'm going to read the statement off real quick. And it goes as follows. Calvin Ridley said that these past few weeks have been very challenging. And as much as I'd like to be on the football field competing with my teammates, I need to step away from football at this time and focus on my mental well-being. This will help me be the best version of myself and now in the future. I want to thank my teammates, the entire Atlanta Falcons organization, our great team fans, my friends, and my family for all their support during this time. So that is coming from Calvin Ridley. I figured it was a mental thing because he's missed a couple of games this year. He missed a game in London against the Jets, and then he missed today. And honestly, it shows. It shows without having Calvin Ridley on the field. It's probably our worst outing of the year because Carolina's defense looked like they did during that 3-game winning streak to go to 3-0 to start the season. So this is a very, 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 very bad showing by the Atlanta Falcons against Carolina, down 19-10. We just couldn't do anything after that 10-3 lead. So just a bad showing from us. Quentin, what's going on, bro? He said mental health is health. Yes, sir. I would never sit here and say that. And I'm glad he made this comment. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right here. I'm a Falcons fan, through and through. We all know this. At the end of the day, don't care if you're the star or you're a back. I don't care who you are. If your mental health is not in a good headspace, then you don't need to be on the field. You need to take your time out for you and your family and just to get your head right. That's the biggest thing overall. I don't want to sit here and ever be in a position that saying that, oh, he needs to be on the field because of anything. Football is a secondary thing. He is an NFL player. Don't get me wrong. That is part of your job. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself first before anything else. So Calvin Ridley, we could tell Calvin Ridley has something been wrong with him all year. He just wasn't himself, even in the way he plays, hadn't been himself. So I'm praying for this guy. He is a very, very talented receiver when he is out there on the field making plays. But at the end of the day, if your health's not where it should be, then you take that time. You're still an Atlanta Falcon. We're still going to root you on when you step back onto the field. Let me get that out the way first and foremost. So Atlanta, from this guy, from all of us Falcon fans, at the end of the day, this guy right here, I love Calvin Ridley. I'm a big fan of everybody on the team, no matter if I give him a hard time or not. But get your mental together. Football going to be here at the end of the day. Go ahead and get out the way. Salute to Calvin Ridley, man. I hope it gets better. I hope and pray that it's something he overcomes pretty well, but just take the time that you need to. That's in anything in life. But getting on to the game, Atlanta had opportunities to win this football game. They just couldn't do nothing after that 10-3 lead, and it showed today. So the Falcons, this is a ball game. They was a winnable ball game. They found a way to lose. And that's the reality of the situation. Number one, not having Calvin Ridley, excuse me, it's scoop seconds of the game, so I'm just looking up at this score. Hold on, before I even get into that. Hey, sis, how you doing? She said, I have severe social anxiety, PTSD, and random depression. I couldn't imagine being in the spotlight. Yeah, it's difficult because we get to know these players as players. We don't get to know them personally. We don't get to know what they have going on outside of football. So he could have been going through it before the season even started. And then, hey, we step into the season. You're no longer wide receiver 2, you're wide receiver 1. So the spotlight's on you, new coaching staff. You're one of the star guys on the team. So that could be one of the biggest things that could play a factor in this team's season. So when you're not yourself, it unfortunately shows when you're on the field, because he had his moments throughout the year where he just wasn't the same guy. And it was obvious. I gave him a hard time myself because I said, he wasn't giving his full effort. But at the end of the day, it just sucks because, okay, Younghoe Koo kicked a field goal to cut it to 6. It's not a lot of time, 16 seconds left in the game. But again, we were tough on him because of his football play. But unfortunately, he was going through something mental, and I just pray that he pulls through. That's the biggest thing. I hope he pulls through. I hope he pulls through pretty well. At the end of the day, football is going to be here. This team is going to be here. You're not missing out on a Super Bowl run. You're not missing out on a playoff run. At the end of the day, you got to get your health together. From a business perspective for the Falcons, though, this is why you get guys. This is why you put a squad around. This honestly, unfortunately, cuts into one of the topics that I was talking about on my actual page before this game was even in it. Now, this was even we were in the league. Today showed without a Calvin Ridley, your team is so predicated with Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts. At the end of the day, you don't have a Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts draw double teams. You don't have another solid wide receiver out there that can make plays. Russell Gage is definitely not ready to step up and be a wide receiver one. He's not ready to be in that predicament, and that's the unfortunate part about it for a Russell Gage. So the Falcons are kind of in a rough spot with Cordero Patterson right now, who has been like your do-it-all guy. He's the guy that you're looking at right now, and he's not ready for that. He's in a position where he's doing way more than he's supposed to be doing. And it's just it showed today. It showed today, and excuse me, sorry, my bad, guys. It showed today. Okay, Amy just said we tried to give Davis a game. Yeah, you could tell that the Falcons were trying to figure something out, but it just didn't show. Like, we don't have a lot of talent. One thing I saw watching this team, watching this game, the offense is not I would say this. It shows from both sides. It's really not the coaching staff, honestly, to be brutally honest with you guys. They don't have the staff to run their offense. They don't have the staff to run the defense gave up 19 points today, and it still looked bad. They still look bad at the end of the day. They still did not look well at all. The defensive line got manhandled. Grady Jarrett is the only person that gets after the quarterback that makes an impact on that defensive line. The other guys on the defense line, I think it's Bullard, I think it's Davison. These guys are not guys you're going to take with you to the future. So Dean Pease has a solid scheme, but don't have any talent around him. And then if it's not that, they're kind of confused in coverage. There's several times that they were giving up third downs where it was like 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. And because the Falcons just didn't know what to do, you are in a position where you're lost in coverage. I don't want to say we're going to look at the stat line soon. Carolina had at least 7 third down conversions in this football game. And the 2 drives they really made their most impact, we gave a lot of third downs on those drives. So the Falcons really, their defense, not only are they bad, they don't really know this scheme and they don't really fit this scheme. So unfortunately, even though a Grady Jarrett might make an impact here and there, you still got guys inside. Now, let me go ahead and say this as well, even going to Deion Jones and those guys. Deion Jones won Defensive Player of the Week last week. No disrespect to the award. I don't know how he won it last week because even with it being said, he had 15 tackles and a sack, but there was moments in the game he didn't play well. So it's a rough situation where the Falcons don't have a lot of talent around and you're in a new scheme. So, that's the frustrating thing for him. Darius, what's going on, bro? He said like they were hitting today, which I can tell is frustration, but that doesn't win you a game. Yes, you can make a big hit all you want to, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're giving up 7 to 8 yards a play, a first down here on the 3rd down, and maybe 10 to 15. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you're not winning. You're not doing what you need to do. And there was a lot of times where Carolina was getting conversions and the drive looked like it was going to be stalled, and then here goes the first down. Extend the drive. And it's one of them embarrassing things. And also the defense was on the field for over 30 minutes. The offense, it showed not having Calvin Ridley today. It showed not being able to get anything going outside of the Kyle Pitts. And I'm not taking anything away from the Carolina defense. I'm not going to take anything away from them because they actually had a pretty good day. But it shows you when you play some of these solid defensive units, and we might run into this issue. I hope not, because, hey, I can't stand the Saints. We want to beat these boys every time we play them, but the New Orleans Saints have a good defense as well. This could be another issue next week in New Orleans because, again, you're playing another pretty solid defense. You got another guy in Cam Jordan that you're dealing with next week. So this is going to become an issue that you're going to run into. And Matt also didn't play a good game. He didn't play a good game. This was his worst game in probably 4 weeks. He's been solid for the last couple of weeks, but today just wasn't there for him. And then on top of that, look at your weapons or lack thereof at this point. No Calvin Ridley on the field, meaning you're going to double Kyle Pitts. Trust me when I tell you, the league has paid attention to what happened the last 2 weeks. They paid attention to that Miami game. They saw what he did in Washington. They saw what he did against the Jets. These guys, that's the one thing that happens when you don't have a lot of depth or talent on this team. When you have one of your big-time guys down, it shows. Kyle Pitts was getting thrown double coverage and stuff, and he had a big drop on that drive where Younghoe could miss the field goal. But, again, these are moments that it shows the lack of depth, the lack of talent that's on a football team. Overall, this is a bad football team. Yes, they have won 3 games at 3-4 right now, but overall, there haven't been impressive wins. None of their wins this season that they won, they've not had a dominant win all season. The Dolphin game, they had to come back to win. The Giants game, they had to come back to win. The Jets game, they were up by 20 and almost blew the lead late. So when you look at the games that we've played and won this season, you cannot walk away and say the Falcons have shown me a complete game throughout 2021. So at the end of the day, it just they don't look well. And again, we're 3-4. It's a miracle that we're 3-4 because we could easily have lost all those games. Just as well, we could have won that Washington game. We could easily be 0-7 right now, staring at an even worse season. And I don't know what's going to happen with the situation now with this team not having Calvin Ridley, because at this point, you're approaching a trade deadline where you don't have money to go make a move. You don't really have that much money to make a move, even in free agency. So the Falcons are kind of stuck right now. And that's the bad part about it for the Falcons. Let me go to the comments. JD said nobody from Atlanta showed up. They are still in Miami. Yes, they are. I don't know where they're at, but they are definitely not here. Miss Bridget, what's going on, Miss Bridget? She said this game was a BS. Matt Ryan to go. This game, as bad as he played today, it also is a combination of what this roster is at this point. When you don't have a guy that you can really get that ball off to, hey, you're going to look bad as well. So, again, Mark, what's going on, bro? He said, let's go Braves. As you all see, this is the first stream that you have seen me do where you don't see any Falcon stuff on me. You see it on my wall. But I have number 1 team in the country right here. And I have this World Series champions tonight. Let's get ready to happen. Let's go ahead and get that dub. They might have sacrificed for the city. By the way, we're going to talk about them once I get done talking about this team that played in the Benz. Side note, we haven't won a home game this year, by the way. We have not. We've done well. We've won everywhere but the Benz. We even won overseas and haven't won at home. That's embarrassing. Darius, what's going on, bro? He said, blow it up and start over. Yes, that's the biggest thing. At the end of the day, this season shows how much this roster is lacking of talent. It lacks talent. It lacks talent a lot. Let me go up to the comments from earlier. My bad for all of you that was responding earlier. John, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man? Scoot, what's going on, bro? He said Falcons. Oh, man. He also said we needed him to catch that third down pass that he dropped led to the first. Yeah, I was just talking about that not too long ago where he missed that field right before the missed field goal. That was that's a different ball game if he completes that ball. We're probably going to take the lead on the touchdown. where we don't even have to deal with Young Wei Koo missing the field goal. And I'm not even mad at him for missing the field goal because he's been so accurate all year long. That was one of the few times he actually messed up. Bryson, what's up, little bro? He said, facts. Yeah, that's what's going on. Jonathan Parks also said, I still say we messed up when we let Julio go instead of Matt. To be honest with you, Julio's contract was the one you had to get out of. Matt's contract is so bad that you wasn't going to be able to get out that contract this year. You was not going to be able to get out of that contract right now. So that was the hard part about it. But Julio's was movable. And also, hey, we got a second-round pick for Julio. We could have probably got more earlier in the situation, but he's not even playing right now. So that is what it is, too. JD said the salary cap is increasing next year. Okay, so that should help us out. John said, what's going on, bro? He said, Calvin Ridley's heart hasn't been in this since the start of the season. His focus is on football and it shows. Yeah, and I'm glad that he's doing what's best for him by taking time away from the game. You have to do what you have to do in this league. And if you don't have it in you to suit up and play, then that's fine. It's nothing against mental health. And that's one of the things that I hope any athlete, if they don't have it at some point, take his time away from it. Because one thing about it is what they have sports counselors for, and take that time. Take that time. Don't go out there and ruin. I'll put it like this: your mental matters more than anything else. Don't ruin your future, your profession. Don't ruin the future of your profession trying to suit up and know that you don't feel it 100% just to sit here and get in a position where you want to make the money. You want to perform at your best, and that goes in anything in life. If your mental ain't there, take you a mental day. Take you this topic means a lot to all of us on here. I'm sure of, because of it's a real thing, and we're seeing it happen with one of our players. So it's one of the things you can't shy away from. I'm glad that the fans really have. I've seen a lot of positive comments towards Calvin Ridley, and hope it continue to be that way. Because at the end of the day, it's obvious this guy is dealing with something mental, and I'm just hoping that he pulls through. Shayna, what's going on? She said, what's going on, friend? Mark said that Calvin needs some sports mental counseling, whatever you call it. He's afraid to get out there. Yeah, it showed early in the season. It showed several times early in the year, but it really showed over the last couple of games where he just wasn't into it. And it was one of the things where you kind of felt like it was mental, but you don't really want to just tag that as it's mental if you don't really know. So, it's one of them things where the Falcons, I'm glad that he took the time for him. I'm proud of him for doing that. Anybody needs to do that if, like I said, if you're taking the time out for yourself. Mark, what's going on, bro? He said, we should have scored a touchdown that drive after our defense let that. Yeah, that was another big time stop for Carolina, because it could have easily been 7-0 at that point in the game. So that was the defense kept them in the game to win. But yeah, just like I said about the Falcons in general, they are in a rough spot because you got 10 more games remaining, and you don't really know what's going to be the status of your team now. Because with Calvin Ridley being gone for however long he's going to be gone, look at your receiving core. Your receiving core, Kyle Pitts is going to get Cordero Patterson is going to have to be a lot more active on the team. They're going to get him fed a lot more. You're in a position. Hold on, let's see. Jermaine said Matt tried to play with a bloody hand. Was the football bloody too? I don't know. I think he definitely wasn't the same after that hit. After he got his hand stepped on, he was definitely not the same, especially on that drive where he threw the interception. He just wasn't himself after that. After he took, because he kept bleeding. You could see it as the game, as that drive was progressing. That drive there also lost his football game, because it was definitely going to go from it could have been 17-7 Carolina, Atlanta. But when you sit here and find yourself in a position where you throw an interception, it turns the whole tide of the game. And they end up turning that into a scoring drive, which also kept them in the game. So there were several chances the Falcons had a knockout punch in this game, but they just didn't do it. So again, the Falcons are in a tough spot. They're in a tough spot now because no Calvin Ridley. Let's see. Jermaine said they should have called a timeout instead. I thought they should have called a timeout too. I don't understand why they didn't do that either. I don't either. But the Falcons are in a tough spot now because I'm not just looking at the fact of today's game. Atlanta has New Orleans, Dallas, and New England back to back to back. All of those teams have pretty good defensive units. And you don't have a lot. So the Falcons got to figure out how we're going to play without Calvin Ridley. They're going to have to figure it out. And I don't really know how they're going to figure it out. Because like I said, Tajay Sharp can't be your wide receiver one. Olamide Zaccheaus can't be your wide receiver one. Christian Blake can't be your wide receiver one. No jabs at you guys. You're just not ready. You did not come to Atlanta to be a wide receiver one or two or even three. That was one of the issues going into the season for the Falcons. We didn't have depth at receiver. So it shows now because now you have Kyle Pitts, Cordero Patterson, and a whole bunch of cast-offs. And I hate to call them that. But it's the truth. You don't know what you're going to get with the rest of this group. And for the coming weeks, it might not show that bad against New Orleans because New Orleans' offense is really not that good at the moment. Without Michael Thomas, who knows? Knowing our history, he's going to come back against us, knowing him. That I can see him come back against the Falcons. Just don't even sit here and don't deny that he could come back against the Falcons. But again, it's just bad all the way around the board for us. Let's go to the comments. Jordan, what's up, bro? He said, go Braves. At least we still got the Braves. Yes, sir. At least we still got the Braves. John said the Georgia Bulldogs will probably beat the Falcons. I don't know if we can go that far yet. But I do know I want a couple of Georgia Bulldogs in a Falcon uniform in 2022. But we'll have that conversation at another time. Jordan also said our defense played poorly. No mental discipline. No, they don't know. They're not really disciplined at all. At all. Let's see. Julian, what's going on, bro? He said Marlon is so bad. Yes. Marlon Davidson is not that good. This is another question. The Falcons should have a joint practice with the Falcons should have a joint practice with the Dogs and the Braves because this football stuff is not working in Atlanta. Shaking my head. Oh, man. Oh, man. Julian also said still no Jalen Hawks over. I don't understand why Harmon or Harris is even starting at this point. Get your rookies out there. You're 3 and 4. You have nothing to lose. Get you guys out there. Julian also said Dion is super bitter and weak. True. He could be a casualty of next season's salary cap. Who knows? Julian also said that AJ is a lockdown corner. Boys, yes, he is. AJ Terrell was definitely a hit. He was definitely a draft hit. I remember a lot of you before I did this, before I started doing even all in with Nate, was killing the AJ Terrell pick when we didn't have a corner. We had lost True Burnt, my nickname for Desmond Trufant. We had lost Robert Alford. We had lost a lot of guys. So we had to go get a corner. We had to. Darius also said we got a parade to get ready for. Yes, sir. These guys got to close it out tonight. They got to close it out tonight. We're going to get a chance to talk about it. Jermaine said it's like a bad relationship. Every time I give them another chance, they go F up. I want the divorce. Listen, I understand. And that's a good comment. I want to throw that comment into an interesting topic right now. Look at the attendance in the beds. That tells you how your fan base is feeling about this football team. Yes, the tickets could be pretty expensive for your average family on certain things. And I'm not talking about anyone's financial situation, but for the price to go to a Falcon game with that bad product, you're not gonna put money down to go watch that team play like they did today. You're not going to put money down to go watch them play like they did against Washington where they blew a lead in the fourth quarter. You're not going to put money down to go watch them play as bad as they did against the Philadelphia Eagles week 1. So guess what? If you're not winning, they're not coming. This is not the Georgia Dome where the tickets prices was so bad that you're going to still go to the game. You're going to still make something happen. And, you're going to still be there. I'm still rooting my boys on. You're going to sit at section couch and you're going to watch the game. And for you that don't know what section couch is, that is your house. You're not going to put no money onto this team if you don't feel like you're going to see a good ball club or a bad product. It happens league wide. And that's what's happening in Atlanta. They don't like the product, so they're not going to come to the game. Plain and simple. Julian, what's going on, bro? He said, can I talk about Arthur Smith and what you see? Arthur Smith, I'll put it like this. Arthur Smith is not a bad coach. He's not a bad coach. He's a young guy. He's a young guy with a lot of, how do I put this? He doesn't have the talent around him for his offense to really be successful. There are play calls, like there was a screen play earlier in the game where Mike Davis is going to get like 2 or 3 yards. If you have like a better version of a running back, he's going to break it by like 10 to 15, maybe even more yards. It's certain things, like I said, the coaching staff, I see the potential. The talent isn't there for it to be fully seen. So, it's rough because the thing is, let me add to what I agree. I felt Kyle handled well being the guy again so early on. Kyle Shanahan, to me, personally, I'm hold on, let me see. Yeah. Okay. You're talking about Kyle Pitts. My bad. But the talent hurts us in so many ways because, again, the fans are going to try to call for Arthur Smith's head. It is not Arthur Smith's fault. Arthur Smith can only work with what you got. Arthur Smith has a Mike Davis as running back 1, but has a journeyman multiple guy in Cordero Patterson that has to make plays as a running back, as a slot receiver, as a wide receiver. Heck, might even try him at tight end before the season's over with. He's a great piece. He shouldn't be your best player in 2021. When he's your best player in 2021, you have a problem. That's your best player on your team in the year 2021. He's a 9-year vet. In 2021, this is your best player. That's a problem. Major problem. Mike Davis was a journeyman RB2 that had a chance to be a running back 1. Mike Davis is not Michael Turner. He does not fit this scheme. He fits a Baltimore. He fits a more traditional running committee squad like a Cleveland, like a Baltimore, like a Pittsburgh. Don't mean to just knock the whole AFC North, but that's really what run the ball over there. Not here. This is why you should have went and got a running back in the draft. This is why you should have went and got a running back in free agency. You don't have to spend big money on a running back. Get you a young guy to build around. Same thing with Dean Pease in the defense. And I'm going to put this comment up here about I agree on the talent because Julian, you're going to get a chance to see me and him talk about Falcons at some point on here together. But Julian has been big on talking about the defensive scheme is not bad, but the talent is bad. Jonathan Bullard and Tyler Davidson is your 1 and 2 punches outside of Grady Jarrett. Who? If you're a football fan like us that know these guys, you probably know those names. But to your casual fan, who's that? Who is he going to do for my team? Marlon Davidson was an incredible defensive tackle at Auburn. I haven't seen him since he was an Auburn Tiger. He hasn't showed up in the Atlanta Falcons uniform. Michael Walker was coming on for the Falcons last season. Who? Where is he? Michael Walker should have had more reps. He's not getting reps. That's the problem. That's the issue. Jalen Hawkins had a great end of 2020 under Raheem Morris. You go inside Deron Harmon to start? Why? Build off your youth. Falcons don't want to do that. They want to go get these guys. They want to go pick up guys from Dollar Tree and start them in the Falcon offense, in defense. Problem. No wonder why we're 3-4. Get you some talent here. Rebuild this thing. And while we're sitting here getting ready to talk about the Atlanta Braves, you want to know what the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Hawks did that the Falcons have yet to do? They blew it all the way up. Right after we made the playoffs in 2013, I'm going to throw the Braves because I'm going to go ahead and shoot these boys some credit right now. Right this second, I'm going to go ahead and salute these boys right here, right now. They are in position to win a World Series for one reason and one reason only. They blew it up. They built it up. It took time. It got here, and look at them now. That's number one. The Hawks was an average playoff team, took the same route, blew this thing up, started over. They're a playoff team now. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. The Falcons have to be willing to say, we are not winning right now. We need to blow this up. We need to get what we can get for the vets that we got, and let's get ourselves together. We can you get 2 or 3 good draft classes, you can be back as a contender. Plain and simple. You can be as a contender. Hold on, let me go to the comments real quick before I go to this. You said the Panthers were playing dirty. What's going on, bro? Stepping on Ryan Hand and stuff. Matt, and I didn't say they weren't. I didn't say that the offense was the complete issue. I'm saying we don't have the talent or we don't have the pieces on offense either. So that shows in games like this, where when you need to make that one play, you don't have that play that you can make. And it's not Art Smith. No, it's not him either. It's the lack of talent. It's the lack of depth. It's the lack of not having a good, competent ball club to put on the field. But that's what the issue is with the Falcons right now. The Falcons don't have that talent right now, and it shows. It's not on coaching. It's not on coaching. So, at the end of the day, we have a wide receiver that's going through some mental health problems, and we're hoping and praying that he gets better. But at the end of the day, we're a bad ball club. We're a bad ball club. That right there is the issue more than anything else. The Falcons got to get – it's going to take this season. We're going to see how the rest of the season play out, but it's a past this season issue that's going to have to get fixed. But that's really what happened with this game with the Falcons today. But I said I was going to talk about the Braves a little bit. Matter of fact, all of you on here that's a big-time Braves fan, how are you feeling about tonight? Me personally, I want to see us go ahead and close it out tonight. I want to go ahead and close this thing out tonight. Quincy, what's up, bro? He said, I agree, lack of talent, blame the rich. Yeah, it's the lack of talent. I can't give you – it's like me going to my job, managing a job, and I'm telling you, go stack this shelf up, and I don't give you the product. You can't do your job. That's what he's coming into. You don't have the pieces. It's an issue. It's going to take a couple of years. And I hope that Arthur Blank don't have the boneheaded mindset of, let me go ahead and get rid of them. Don't do that. These guys are coming in, taking over 13 years of how it was built one way. Dimitrov was our GM for 13 years. This is a totally different situation with a new GM. So let's see how that plays out. Jermaine. He drafted. Why blame Dimitrov? He drafted our Super Bowl roster. Let me go ahead and put this. I'm gonna put this topic to bed right here, right now. Nobody will ever take away from what Dimitrov drafted. But let's be brutally honest. Dimitrov had nothing to do for the whole way through with why the Atlanta Falcons made it to the Super Bowl in 2016. Matt Ryan was here. That was one of your early draft picks. You traded up for Julio. But the squad that took us to Houston in 2016, Kyle Shanahan played a big part in why that offense was the way they were. Dan Quinn early on had an outstanding eye of talent, and that's why we played out to be the way that we were. The league caught up with us. The problem with the Falcons is the Falcons tend to follow the trend of what's going on with the league. They don't have an identity, and that's why we have had these issues where we have lost. Because let's be honest, the Falcons was a ball control, run the ball team with Tony Gonzalez and Roddy White back in the day. They got Julio. They forgot what running the ball was like. That's number one. That ended up costing Mike Smith his job on top of drafting a bad roster. We didn't have the talent. The roster was getting old. We didn't have guys to replace. Fast forward to the Dan Quinn era. Same thing. Kills the first two classes. Make the playoffs in 17. Went to Super Bowl in 16. We did nothing to build off of that. What happens that time? Another coach get fired. Now you get fired. He plays a part in why this team did not get the job done. He helped make certain things happen, but he also can't do anything like that. You said can't run the ball, don't draft a line. And who's supposed to draft the line? Your general manager, Thomas Dimitroff, which is why he is at the house watching the game like we are. On to the next person. Dimitroff had absolutely nothing to do with the Falcons reaching the Super Bowl. Thank you. But I'm going to leave the Falcons topic alone because they are not going to ruin this day because we have bigger business to handle at 8 o'clock. Again, how do y'all feel about the Braves game going on at tonight? I feel like the Braves can close this thing out tonight. I really don't want to go back to Houston, give them any kind of life of game 6 and game 7. And if you go into the Battery, be safe tonight. This is gonna be a big night for the city. And I think everyone's mindset is on the Braves right now too. So a lot of us aren't really too angry. It's irritating to see your team lose games, but I think everybody's mind is kind of on the Braves right now. So it is what it is. Nick, let's see. Shout out to the Braves. They're not playing. Yes, sir. The Braves, they were incredible. I never saw this series coming. I never saw this run coming. They had an outstanding trade deadline. They got to the postseason, and they just took off. I was very proud of it. I was very proud of how far they've taken a run. So it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The Braves, I thought last night was going to be a loss because that's kind of how it was setting up, but these guys are special. They can close out tonight. I would love to see them close it out tonight. Nick, what's up, bro? He said, go Carolina Panthers. Good game. Good you guys. You guys rebounded. Way to rebound from that 4 game losing streak. That should play a big factor having Gilmore and Shaq Thompson back. Definitely should. Quincy Jones said, oh, my bad. Braves are playing this united front. It's hard to beat a team. Yes, they're playing knowing that nobody believed in them anyways. It's hard to beat a team where nobody was believing you to begin with. So it's like you're playing with house money. So when we beat the Brewers and got a chance to beat the Dodgers and caught home field because they had a wild card run, we were playing with house money. So they took care of that series. They went into Houston, stole a game. If they went, you're basically being set into a great position. It's setting up for everything that you need to set up, and they capitalized on it, and I salute them for that. Quincy said, I feel good. We have momentum right now. I think so, too. That's one of the things that have not happened in this series. The bats have not really just went crazy in this series, and I think tonight will be the perfect night to do it. I know they got, I want to say it's, I can't think of the dude's name, Valdez, the guy that pitched game 1. And if the Braves can get after him today like they did on the other game 1, we could be partying tonight. I hope that we're partying tonight. We're so overdue. It's been 26 years since they won the World Series. I was 5 when they won the World Series. Well, I was 4. My bad. I was 4. So, again, that was this is long overdue. We're long overdue. And it's people like, and I'm sure a lot of you probably got grandparents or family members that's around the Southeast that grew up watching the Braves on TBS. This is why I really want to see these guys do it now, not next year. I think they're gonna win another one eventually, but I need to go ahead and get it done now. Also, he said, now on to the Braves, that boy Will Smith, who I had an issue with throughout the regular season, he came on and he got us here. Got to give it to him. That bullpen has been absolutely outstanding. So let's get ready for tonight. Saints and the Bucks game just came on. I want to get a chance to watch that game soon. But check a couple more comments. John said the Braves are playing with absolutely no pressure on them because nobody expects them to be here. The Houston Astros have the pressure on them, pressure burst pipes, and the Astros are feeling that right now. I think it showed last night. And if the Braves have the golden opportunity to put ice on this, to put these flame called the Houston Astros out. So let's hope that they get a chance to get it done tonight. Again, I'll be back on the talk. If the Braves do go ahead and win tonight, you will get a show from me within either tomorrow or even Tuesday, depending on how everything plays out. But I will get back on here no matter the result of this series. I'm gonna go ahead and say we close it tonight. That's what I want. I'm greedy. I want to go ahead and get this thing over tonight. But again, Falcons also close the game 19-13, excuse me. And we're going to have to talk about that a little deeper because now we got a little issue on our hands going forward with those guys. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in to watch the show. Let's get a chance to kick back and relax. 8 o'clock is going to be a big time for us. We got a championship to go win. So until next time, go Braves, go Dogs, Falcons. Hopefully y'all rise up again. Hopefully you rise up again. I don't know. Just pray for them. Until next time, y'all have a good one.